It's day one of the Buccaneers minicamp, and I'm with Rick Stroud, who is with the Tampa Bay Times, and we just talked to Jason Pierre-Paul, also known as JPP. And what were your thoughts on what he said today?
Well, he hasn't been here in the offseason for OTAs, but it turns out that's kind of his deal, right? When he was with the Giants, he didn't do that. And he's been moving. I mean, he had to move his family from New Jersey. He's back home closer to Florida. So I know he's excited to be here. I'm sure he took some ribbing from his teammates and his coaches for having missed most of the offseason, but this is mandatory. And really, when you're in your 8th year in the NFL and you're 29 years old, there's not a whole lot. He's got to learn the scheme. He's got to learn some things about Mike Smith's defense, but he'll catch up quick. As he said to us, he's a pro. It is something he's been doing for a long time, and I think, at this point in his career, he's excited. I think to be back in Tampa Bay. You can see the stadium he played his college ball in. He's wearing red instead of blue, so he has a lot to get used to, including his new teammates. But overall, I think he's kind of excited about it.
Do you think because he missed out on the OTAs that will affect him in the long run?
Well, that's going to be something to watch, right? We won't know until they get into play the regular season, but I think he'll rely on the 8 years in the NFL that he's played. These guys at this point in their career, it's not unusual for a veteran to miss off-season workouts. They are voluntary, and I think that he'll be a quick study, right? There's only so many things you can do on defense. It would be nice if he gets to learn his teammates, but he has 3 days here. He'll have a training camp. He'll have 4 preseason games potentially, so I think he'll be fine. Now, if he goes out and doesn't produce, people will look back at the offseason and say, well, that was why. But at the end of the day, I don't think that's going to determine whether he has a good season or not.
And when Jameson spoke, did anything surprise you what he said?
No, Jameis is pretty consistent, but I think you feel the urgency that he feels. And he's always a guy that wants to get better, wants to improve. Look, we all know what's on the line for him and for Dirk Cutter and Jason Light. There is a sense in this building that this is a big year, and it starts with the quarterback. And I think that, cutting down on turnovers, and we've seen the emphasis on the deep ball, which he talked about today. Those are the things that he's been working on the most, and it's starting to show up here.
Is there anything else you would like to add?
Well, no, except that these last 3 days are the last this team will be together until the summer. The next time we see them will be training camp. So they are important. It's not a lot different than OTAs that we've seen, but everybody is here, and it's the final time they'll be together. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they finish out the offseason.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. I really appreciate it. My name is Alana Bearfield, reporting for the Tampa Bay Times.